Okay, so we have this question here. It says, determine the distribution of the data pictured below. So before we actually look at the box and whisker plot, we can just talk about the four choices here. So this says, does it represent a uniform distribution, a bell-shaped, a skewed right, or a skewed left? So if I just go one by one and kind of come up with a picture for each, uniform distribution is, I would say, like the most boring distribution. Let's see here. So it's just going to be a rectangle of a set height like this over an interval. So that's uniform. Um, Let me draw another. I'll draw three more lines. We have the uniform distribution, which is like the bell-shaped distribution, which is like the normal curve. So it's symmetric, makes kind of that loose bell shape centered around the mean. Skewed right and skewed left look similar to this, but they're somewhat like lopsided. Skewed right, these terms, skewed right and skewed left, I feel like are opposite of what you would think they would be. Skewed right, to me, would look like this. Like the mound is to the right. This is actually skewed left. And skewed right would look like this. So it's like opposite. Okay, so this is skewed left, this is skewed right, this is bell shape, and this is uniform. So it really comes down to now the box and whisker plot. So the thing to remember here is between each vertical line, like this line and this line, contains 25% of the data. Between this line and this line is 25%. Between this line and this line is 25%. And between this line and this line is 25%. So if I were to draw a box and whisker plot for a uniform distribution, it's completely even all the way across. So you would expect that every single 25% would be the same size. This would be 25, 25, 25, 25. So a box and whisker plot for this would look like this. Completely evenly measured in every single section, which we don't quite have that. The whiskers look longer than the middle section. For a skewed left graph, you would expect kind of the data to be off to the left, like it is in the graph. So you would expect your box and whisker plot to have the similar layout to the curve, which we don't have that here. Same for skewed right. You would expect sort of your data. This isn't actually drawn to scale, but sort of your data like that. So the only other option would be to have our middle 50% centered around the middle of the data, and then whiskers extending in both directions. Now, if these whiskers were the same size as the boxes, it would look more uniform. But since the whiskers are longer, I guess I should fix this a little bit. It implies that it would be the bell-shaped. Okay. So really, it comes down to the box and whisker plot being one of these four, I guess, layouts.